Hi everyone, I'm Josh Cripps and I'm going to show you 4 simple things you can do to become a better photographer. Shoot JPEG only, at least for the next week. I know what you're thinking. JPEG only? What's the matter with this guy? Before you turn the video off, hear me out. There's so much you can do to a RAW file in post-processing that it often creates lazy technique in the field. Oh, this photo's a little underexposed, just fix it in post. Color's off in this one, I'll fix it in post. Contrast, saturation, something's not quite right? Who cares? I'll fix it in post. But what if you couldn't fix it in post? What if all your choices were locked in when you pressed that shutter button? Well then, you really have to take time to understand metering and how to use it to properly expose your photos. You have to take time to really understand the histogram, what it is and how to use it to perfect your image's exposure. You'll have to think for a minute about the color scheme you want in your image, choose your white balance appropriately, and to think about your noise levels and choose your ISO appropriately. When your post-processing options are limited on the back end, it forces your in-field technique to become a lot better. And if you can take a bad photo and make it good in post, you can take a good photo and make it amazing. So try shooting JPEG only for about the next week and you'll see your in-field technique improve by leaps and bounds. Shoot vertical. Most landscape photos are taken in this horizontal orientation. I mean, heck, it's even called landscape format. But if horizontal, horizontal, horizontal describes your shooting style, force yourself to shoot only vertical for the next few weeks. It will feel really restrictive at first, but stick with it because restrictions are what put the mind into creative overdrive and you will find yourself doing some really unique things to fill the frame. It forces you to simplify your compositions, remove extraneous clutter or empty space on the left or right side of your frame. And on top of that, it forces you to look at the world in a different way, up and down as opposed to the normal side to side we live our daily lives in. And that rearrangement of space can bring a fascinating new perspective to your work. And for you wide-angle shooters out there, going vertical with a wide angle lets you get right down on top of your subject, giving a lot of visual punch to your image and drawing your viewers into the frame. From wherever you are right now, take exactly 50 steps and stop. Do not move from that spot until you've taken a photo that you find interesting. Then take another 50 steps, stop, and do the exact same thing. Then do it again and again. Pretty soon, your usual ways of looking at the world will go right out the window, and you'll find yourself hunched over, searching the ground, or staring straight up at the trees, or zooming in on some tiny detail. Do this enough, and you'll realize there's beauty and wonder all around us. It just takes a little eye training and perspective to see it, which means that the next time you go out to shoot, you'll begin to see things you never even realized were there. Sure, tripods can be clunky and cumbersome and stand as a barrier between you and your creativity, but it's well worth getting used to shooting with one because tripods offer serious advantages to the landscape photographer. First, they improve the technical quality of your shots. By eliminating handshake when you're out shooting, you'll see noticeably crisper details in your shots, which makes a huge difference when it comes time to print. Secondly, tripods allow for long exposure photography. From silky water to streaking clouds, you simply can't take shots like this without a solid foundation for your camera to rest on. Finally, an incredibly underrated but incredibly valuable feature of tripods is that they allow for consistency and subtle adjustments with your photos. If you're shooting handheld and reviewing each shot each time, you can only get so close to where you want to be. A tripod lets you approach your killer shot methodically, isolating one variable at a time. Exposure, filter placement, compositional tweaks until you've absolutely nailed it. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed those 4 simple things you can do to boost your photography to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly photography tips and techniques. Visit my website for landscape photography, tutorials, and workshops, joshuacripps.com. Till next time, have fun and happy shooting.